We're all here. Jake's here live. We need an intro song.
Hello, we're here live on the corridor cast. We're here live.
All right, Jake is on the dulcimer. Sam's on
Hi,
the
Jake
guitar.
Watson on dulcimer. Who do we got on lead guitar?
It's Sam. What's up? I'm Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Famous
heard of
from
me.
such videos as
Red versus Blue.
Red versus Blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's on?
And you got Nico on the handpan. You might know me from such videos as
Son of a Dungeon, episode 8.
yes, actually specifically episode 5. I'm in that one.
Okay. Yeah. Are you the guy that's in the one
I'm
scene?
the guy that's yeah. I am the D&D table in that. whole
Oh,
episode.
okay. Yeah,
It's
I remember that
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, the table.
Yep.
Okay.
So clutch.
All right. Ready?
Should we lay out a chord progression or just go for it?
No, just keep it all in D.
On D. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
We gotta practice more.
Yeah.
That's my second time picking up that instrument, so maybe the third time it'll be on the next episode.
Well, it's twice as easy as guitar since there's.
It is
there's three
twice as
strings.
easy as
easy.
guitar. Yeah, that way it's really like I've picked it up 4 times. Under that logic. Yeah. So you may have heard episode 8, the finale of Son of a Dungeon,
Yay.
is live on corridordigital.com, and episode 2, it's a little secret for all you Troutons, it's coming out on Sunday on YouTube.
Yeah.
On Corridor Crew YouTube. I know.
Perhaps we can entice you with our wares.
Perhaps you may be interested in our wares. We've got we've got 2, not 1, but 2 episodes
Dungeons,
available.
You say, well, I have the perfect thing.
We've created a series of adventurers.
Yes. It's cool. It's pretty intense. The last
Sam's-
episode's great.
Sam's a little in shock because he just got done exporting it.
Yeah, it's so much work. Way too much work for a D&D show, but like I say that, I simultaneously love every second of it, but
Yeah.
yeah, wow.
No, yeah. It was great watching the finale. You guys did an incredible job.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. It's like full on Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dishwasher.
The dishwasher.
Should we call the episode that? The dishwasher?
Okay.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow as of this recording, right?
Yeah.
It'll be out by the time this is out.
Yep.
Yeah. So then, yeah, and then look for episode 2 on YouTube if you can't shill out an email for a 2-week free trial.
Sam, what are your big? Now you're done, right? What are your big life-changing lessons that you've learned from such an endeavor as Son of a Dungeon?
Life change. Oh God.
Life
I
changing.
don't know if I've learned. Well, I mean, I've learned stuff on how to make that specific show faster to make.
Yeah.
But, I mean, geez, gosh.
We got to do that next time.
That's really, those are the big takeaways.
Like what?
Yeah. We need
I mean-
another effects artist.
Well, yeah, I can't be the VFX lead on it because, you know, there's too many other things. 'Cause I'm also mastering the audio. Carmichael like does sound design, and then I take it all and make it balanced, and then, you know, I don't know. Then I'm tweaking all the comps and stuff for the green screen shots, all the Unreal stuff. Oh my, it's way too many shots. I should do the true tally of how many shots got.
You should, yeah. We should do a little post on that. That'd be cool.
It's pretty
cool
intense.
to see like a screenshot of the, you know.
And you look at the edit in Premiere for the last episode, and it's just like real footage, CG, real footage, and it's just like, oh my god, like how did that happen?
There was a few moments in episode 8 where we're entirely in the CG world for like long periods of time as we're going through this cavern.
Yeah, but it helps so much because like.
Yeah.
Each time the way I decide if we're dropping those shots in is I just play the edit and it's like, should I be seeing this? Like, is this something I need to see to get? And like half of that last episode is yes. So.
Yeah. And the way that you revealed the moving walls, was really cool. How we didn't know as players.
Yeah.
The audience sees it. It doesn't spoil anything.
No, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet. Yeah. Hopefully, hopefully we can take all this stuff and then actually like apply it to either like another season or making cooler crew videos, because there's like a ton of stuff. I mean, you saw like the bowling alley animations. I'm doing that on Unreal now. It's like, okay, there's some other benefits.
And Carmichael, if you're listening to this, you're gonna have to learn some Unreal too.
Yeah,
only like a rudimentary level of Unreal.
Yeah, like the director's
about
level.
As much as I know about After Effects.
Like a director, a director who comes in and is like knows the names of some buttons.
Yeah,
and then understands that there's a camera somewhere and you render it eventually, like that level.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I don't know very much about the actual like intricacies of the tools of VFX and CGI, but I understand like the concepts and how they apply to when you're actually filming and when you're actually editing and actually doing the work. So that it's true. You can actually achieve like a level of understanding with,
Are we good to talk spoilers on this episode? I feel like maybe like the finale just dropping. Like, should we talk about spoilers right now?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, we've entered a spoiler zone.
Okay, this is officially your warning.
A spoiler zone.
If you haven't seen it, take a time out, go and watch it.
Go watch all 8 episodes.
Yeah, why are you listening to this instead?
And come back.
Listen to this afterwards.
Sam's like been working on this for months, and he's sitting here in this podcast.
I want to talk about it.
It's so stupid. We've been working on it since before February. Like the first Crew Cuts episode that came out about figuring this out was like last year, a year ago.
Yeah. So I guess spoilers, because it's been.
I mean, I have done other things. I have. If you look at the videos on the Crew channel, I have done other things, but it feels like I haven't done a single other thing.
He slept, woke up, and that's it.
All right. So here's my question: what if we died in episode 8?
Oh man, I was hoping it would happen.
I was
like, but the big thing I realized.
Could it have happened?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I was kind of incorrectly playing the Mind Flayer characters. We kind of played it and we did all this stuff, and I read again, and I'll fix this. If we're gonna play more, but the Mind Flayer characters basically have like certain big creatures in D&D. The way you actually make these creatures super powerful is you basically give them free actions. There's like each ultra powerful character in D&D basically gets like a small list of like 2 or 3 like legendary actions, which mean they can do them whenever they want, even if it's not their turn.
Okay.
And like as you saw in like normal turn-based stuff, like, okay, yeah, you guys strategize, take them out, especially like the last mega big one. You guys take them out, and like we even afterwards, like it was so hectic and like so much we were figuring so much out on the fly. But I went through from everything from the water pit to the very end and just double check stuff to make sure it doesn't come off as us just like go like whatever, yeah, you'll win, because it kind of comes off like that. But I went through the whole thing, and you can. It all falls into the rules of the game really well, actually, and keeps things
outside of D's dual crossbow attack. That I don't know, that's a house rule.
It might be, but like, yeah. So you could have died if I was using the legendary action thing against everyone, because it's like the whole like psychic blast thing, blah blah, all that stuff happening, it would be happening like way more often. It would be like twice per round, and people would just be getting like pummeled. And
those are rough.
Yeah, so like, but that's usually how that character gets played, which is like, all right, I'm psychic, I'm not gonna slap you. It's like I just all I'm trying to do is stun you long enough to eat your brain. And when it's like 4 people versus 1, it's like 4 people go have huge powerful attacks, and then it's like, oh shit, I can only try this once. But even like, you know, there's so many other factors. So anyways, yeah,
I thought for sure one of us was gonna die.
What would happen if someone died? Well, you die, that's it. And then it becomes part of the cool story.
So you've been cool if like just the heroes died in episode 8 and be like, that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
The chances of everyone dying, I felt, were going to be pretty low.
I was hoping for a challenge.
I always hope for at least one, but
yeah, I feel like in next season somebody needs to go. Like one of us needs to die.
Well, I'm not going to make it happen. I'll help set the scene for someone's death, but you know.
I hope none of us die next season.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I hope we live, but without the real threat of character death, like, you know, it's just, what can you do? And I get it, because like you have 4 level 8 characters plus a cleric going against one
level 9 or no level 10 character, which still
wait, critical or challenge rating 10 or level 10. Challenge rating 10 means the character will be challenging.
I don't really remember, but you know, I counted the health points that were knocked off of it, and then went to 0. I'm like, all right.
I feel like you need to do like take the main character, the main boss, and then if we're level 10 or whatever, so that's 40 total. Make them level 20, between 27.
No, we get our butts kicked. So like level 20 is God.
Yeah, level 20 is God. Level 20, even the writers of D&D give up at level 20 because they're just like, there's a spell called Wish, and when you make a wish, and anything you want comes true.
Here's what we do: level 10, and you make one boss level 16.
Yeah. I mean, the levels honestly are. I like, as I was saying, like this concept of legendary actions, like, but think about this. It's a big boss fight. It's a huge, mega powerful creature. There's 4 little guys trying to take him out. They got powerful spells, but this guy's super powerful. So the concept of like the legendary actions is, okay, I get to interrupt the chains and like the strategy.
Right.
And it keeps things a little bit more difficult. And so it's like, oh, what if we do this? Water, lightning, horns, whatever. And in the middle of that, I'm like, oh, haha, boink. And so like it prevents it lowers the ceiling of how much how much teamwork starts paying off.
Right.
And not to say it's like once again, it's not trying like to win D&D, but I think from a perspective of like, keeping people on edge a little bit more as far as having their characters die.
Yeah.
It definitely helps that.
Yeah, though I feel like had we not pulled off like this big group kill effort, I feel like we would have lost that.
Well, without the water spell, I don't know what would. I was saying this at the end of the episode, but I don't know how would we even have gotten over to the creature in the first place.
Yeah, we couldn't go in the water because it was all filled with
literally without control water. Yeah, it's like you would have just been stuck there.
Could Twimothy have like floated us over there?
I don't know.
No. Maybe I kept that character kind of light. That character, by the way, that was like not supposed to be such a super important character, and it was just like he's like the one orphan it's just going back to that 3rd episode. It's just like, okay, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make like 4 characters that are infected and make them all like kind of different.
Yeah.
So that way they all have different. There's always different approaches on how to like deal with each one, and then it just so happens that. Like the kid character was immune to coronavirus.
How did you? If you didn't get the analogy by now, right? If you didn't get it yet, so when did you decide that like Twimothy was not? So he's obviously still infected, but he's not. So what is that? When did you decide that? Was that early on when you were like, "What? This isn't going to affect everybody the same," or?
Well, I was thinking a little bit as far as like, man.
Or did you kind of make it up as you went along?
No, I can't. Honestly, I don't remember too much with the big picture stuff.
Yeah.
But the main thing was that like very quickly in the episode, you're like, oh, here's a sick kid. Have the cleric basically
Fix the kid.
keep him alive long enough.
Yeah.
And so with the way the story was moving, it was like, this is kind of like a natural fit to
Right.
keep the character around and like give it like a next level. So it's not just like it's a rescue mission.
Yeah.
It's like have it become something more than that.
Hey, do you see this tiny guitar right here and how it comes in one beautiful little package? Well, guess what? You can get all of your stock asset needs to come in one beautiful little package too, courtesy of today's sponsor, Storyblocks. They're the one-stop shop for all your stock asset needs for creators and businesses alike. We use them all the time over here at Corridor Digital, and let me tell you why. Not only do they make beautiful sounds through their audio assets, but also you can get high-quality 4K B-roll. You can get images, motion graphics, After Effects templates, and more. And you can get all of that with an unlimited all-access plan that gives you the ability to download anything you want from the site as much as you want and use it in any kinds of projects worldwide. It's a global thing, guys. And just like the sounds that you can make with this guitar, you can take the assets and bring them out globally to the world. Bring them out into the world. They're constantly updating their library, and that's another reason that we love them. We can go on there and we're never going to find the same thing twice. If you're already a serious professional creator and you're part of a team, well, talk to your team leader about an enterprise plan. Whenever you're trying to find that little thing that's going to make and take your video to the next level, and you don't want to go out and create an After Effects template from scratch, or you don't want to go out and try to get B-roll on your own, Storyblocks is going to save you a ton of time and a ton of money. If you're serious about making videos, if you're serious about creating, you're going to need a stock asset solution for your creativity. A huge thanks to them for always sponsoring the podcast. And if you guys are interested, head on over to storyblocks.com/corridorcast or click the link in the description below. And the next time you see a tiny little guitar, I want you to think of Storyblocks. Don't think of me. Think of Storyblocks, okay? All right. Well, good. Great. I'm glad you know this now. And let's get back to the podcast.
So what is this dark world? This dark...
What is this dark? What is this dark world?
No, this dark world.
It's called my mind.
No. Where the Spider-Man came from. Not to mention Spider-Man. We got a whole bunch of that coming out.
If we want to talk
soon.
about this, we're just going to get into like Sam and Carmichael's nerdy D&D backstory stuff.
Look, I want to hear about this.
So, all right. So the idea is at the very first, we never show this once during the entire season, but I made this map.
Okay.
Like this big drawing, this of the landscape.
Yeah.
To show the relationship of everything. And there's one very specific thing that wasn't ever visited in it. There was Cecilton, there was the orphanage and all that stuff, and the manor, there was Wentinghamshire, all that stuff. And then on literally there, written down, there's this huge mining area that's right next to Wentinghamshire.
Huh.
That we never like really brought up or kept talking about.
Didn't you try to get us to go on a side quest there?
Maybe the big side quest was find the lost merchandise.
That's what. Yeah, that's yeah.
and then Nico shut it down like really hard. He's like, "We're not doing a fucking side quest." And I was like, I took that as a positive sign that things were going well. Help me! My lost bag of merchandise
what was
is
at
missing.
the end of what was at the end of the lost merchandise?
That's a way to get to the horde that comes and starts over. That's like a faster route to get to that kind of storyline.
Okay.
Because you guys end up going out and you're like, oh, what the fuck are all these people like walking towards the city doing? And so it was going to tee off that a little sooner.
Okay.
But so
then Cecilton would have been destroyed
potentially.
Well, it already kind of was.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I mean, from the get-go, it's like, all right, during the course of that play session, it's like everyone in the town who's infected is going to turn into a mind flayer unless someone steps in.
Oh, okay.
Like that was the goal. So Timothy not turning into a mind flayer was because of everyone taking the cleric character and making sure he's sticking with him and keeping him
the
safe,
ring of mind
etc.
shielding.
Yeah, so
okay. All right. So, because that's what I'm curious about, because we gotta do something with little Timothy. Next season.
So that's the idea. Is that all right? So you go down. There's what's under there. There's some mines. There's shit going on.
He had some name for
There's
it.
a backstory. The D called it the Underdark.
The Underdark.
And then the D&D lore,
was.
that's like that's a whole universe.
Oh, okay.
And it's true because like the Drider character is like specifically a character in that pantheon in that universe of D&D.
Okay.
So
Well,
But,
let's go
you know,
there. I want to go there.
Well, I mean, if you watch the last shot of the episode, you
We're
go
going there. Yeah, I saw it.
So I think a question that like a bunch of people have, and I have as well, very frequently, looking at this whole game. Like, how much of it did you actually plan, and how much of it was you just going like, I'm gonna make this up on the spot because this is what happened?
Tons of it is planned. It's like it's a 3D story. That's the big thing where it's like you don't write linearly what you want to have happen. You basically, like, I ended up having I have a Google Doc where I was writing out ideas, and I was like, there's got to be a way to format this so I can like have reference basically as we're playing as far as what's happening. And if someone goes here, how do I prevent myself from coming up with something on the fly, which can kind of create plot holes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And because it's all like, I'll forget shit, I say.
Right.
And thankfully, if it's important and someone cares about it, they'll be like, hey,
yeah.
that's not how it happened. Let's see. I can pull one up though, because it really is helpful. Where is it?
So there's still a tadpole in Nico's head.
Okay,
Me?
so
Yes.
yeah, it ends with D being restored,
The cleric
and then you're
Alcaron.
left alone. You're left.
Akelron
Yeah.
extracts one from D's head, and you still have one in your head, and Twimothy's
so-
still question mark.
So
I forgot about
so
that.
the way it's each play session is formatted the same way, where I type the word introduction. That's the name of the first paragraph.
Yeah.
And I just say, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Like, what's the deal? Like, what's the vibe? Like, what's the state of affairs? So, you look at episode 1, I write Cecilton, the name of the town you call home. Like, I'm saying this to you.
Right.
Like, this is like shit I gotta say before we start playing. So
Right.
that way we have context. So
Right,
I described the Cecilton, I described the exterminators, monster hunters, and I described there's like an emergency call that you're going to go
Yeah.
to. And then after that, right away, I go, there's a little more context, but the first thing after that is just characters. Like, who the fuck
Right.
are these players in this world, so to
Yeah.
speak? And so I go, characters, and it's their name, or it's just with a light descript, like one sentence, it's ultra minimal, like bullet points. Chancellor of Sport, paranoid, selfish, potentially could offer them a stake in their team.
Oh, man, we missed that one.
Gorgeous Greg.
Shoot.
And then description, cannot speak and only can communicated to psychically or by drinking the tea.
I would have loved to get a share in the Cecilton Crushers.
Yeah. And then I have some family members or friends from the town, question mark. We'll see how that works this was like before I get everyone's backstory. Oh no, this ended up being the cleric.
Yeah.
So I took that from D's backstory. I'm like, yeah, let's just have a backstory character, episode 1, right? Or like in the first session. Vincilius. Vincilius had a child or a daughter, like an older daughter that didn't make it into the piece because I write this and then I sit down and I'm like, all right, and I just cut some stuff if I have too much bullshit. I've got Reverend McAllister. I got Bongo ZX12, which was what I named the automaton.
Oh, dude.
And then we got the bridge zombie miners. Yorgo the Great.
There's the mining thread. Okay.
Yeah. It's full circle. That whole thing, like that, just to tip you off, like the undead miners at the very first episode.
Yeah.
Is a thing.
Right.
So and then after that I just have a little brief note that maybe summarizes some other additional character relationship stuff. I'm like, all right, what are like things that everyone may or may not react to, such as, hey, if the party just kills the person with the infected person, it could cause total chaos. It's going to cause complete chaos if anyone finds out, because there's a murder in a party.
Right.
And then then anyway, so it's characters. So it's introduction.
Yeah.
We go to characters, which is honestly, I think, the most important part. It's because that's like the true web of the whole story. As long as the characters are kind of figured out, you're like, okay, like plot will happen if you just put all these people in a room. It's kind of like writing a little bit too, of just figuring that out. But then the next part is super important. It's layout. And that's basically going, all right, what locations are there on the map what, or even just rooms, what are the rooms called? And what is like the one or two special things about that location? Is there going to be a secret door?
Yeah.
Is this just where all the money is? Is this like a trap here? You know, just like
Treasure room.
Yeah, and keeping it like really, really tight.
That's
really,
a great philosophy for writing, by the way. Let me just point that out. You said it really quickly. The idea of not thinking about the plot, but thinking about the characters and putting all the characters in the same room and then just having the plot happen because all those characters are in a room. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, it's like, what happens if
writing.
these two characters go to the sinkhole? What happens if these two characters go to the dining hall? Like, what types of scene, like, just between this concept of layout and the concept of these characters, you start to get scenes that happen. What if these two characters run into each other in the bathroom, And then the last one, sorry, there's two more. So we go intro, context, characters, important, layout, important because it's a game board. Then there's two final ones, which is events, meaning it's fuses, so to speak. We're lighting fuses here. So it's like, what shit goes down that could potentially surprise people and push things forward if things slow down or need direction. And they're flexible, where it's like, what are the events in the first episode? If they don't deal with Greg right away, we'll have a mind flayer fight. Episode 1,
Yeah.
and you deal with it swiftly. Other events, all the infected people you met early or later were there at the party. So events, that means like, okay, these characters are going to try and eventually leave before you're ready to stop them.
Right.
So that could potentially, that could have been a whole other plot, which is like, one person's infected. What if you guys were like, okay, we know one is, who else? And you've went that route. Well, it's like, cool, I've got a whole story here. I've got all the characters listed. That's a whole event
contact tracing.
Yeah. The mercenaries who come. That was a thing too. The purple worm that eventually will jump out at someone, and all that stuff. And then that's the second to last, the true last one for any play session is directions, which is going like where just trying things could go in any direction, but like, let's lay out some paths here, like ahead of time, just so that way when spontaneous actions happen, you can at least just slightly direct them in a way that logically can build towards a conclusion. Yeah. So for the first play session, the first 2 episodes, what are the directions? Some people want the mind flayer to survive and become a slave. Maybe maybe that is the ending of that second episode. It's alive. Someone has taken it. Maybe the mind flayer, if it becomes a mind flayer, the mind flayer itself decides to try and escape, and we're now in the caverns or something like that. Other directions, they deal with it and now have to find the other people in town.
Right. Which is basically what actually happened.
Save the children ? Because there was a whole subplot that never was explored of hijinks children that was happening in the first 2 episodes, which just never got there. And then big overall directions, which is find the High Cleric in Wentinghamshire. Right. Who's the one character, like from that first play session, it's like, that's the one character that can actually just kind of snap his fingers and help the situation.
Right, right.
So yeah, that's basically like the layout there, where it's like, okay, intro, context, characters, motivations, etc. Physical layout. What are the rooms going to be? What are we doing? And then we have sorry. I can barely get it. Yeah. Events, which is, spontaneous things to have happen. Yeah. And then directions, which is, all right, where are we going with this? What do we, before we even start playing that first episode, what do we want like the 3rd or 4th episode to feel like? And where are we going with this? So and then each play session has a similar format as far as like, all right, these are the things you got to figure out.
Yeah. So a couple things for next campaign. I don't think we got to be very careful about, like, when we went in Vincilius's house, we were just like, murder everything.
which is
Good way-
great.
It's a good way to get us
I
killed.
feel
though.
like we're gonna get into some trouble if we keep doing that.
Well, that's kind of why I like doing it. I mean, so you go back to the Call of Wild campaign. That was literally what we all decided to do.
No,
It's
I
like,
know,
let's
but
actually try
I-
murdering everything.
I
Yeah.
really wanted. That was the coolest campaign ever. An emotionally driven murder revenge story.
It's like a cowboy western.
It's just like so pure and like innocent and perfect.
Yeah, you're just like you never get to see that story in movies or anything. It's like, what if we did just not stop until our shores were cleansed of this foreign threat?
and it kicks it off with like a whole like, oh, that one act totally justifies this. Okay, like there's motivation now for everything.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we burned your village down and gave you poison blankets, and you're like, okay, let's kill everyone. And so the whole time it's like every once in a while there's morally questionable moments where like, is this too much killing? you know? And then everyone was like, even if it was a little too much, everyone's like, yeah, that was a little too much, but whatever. You know,
We're committed.
it's like it's okay. Like,
Do you
what's
think
one
like
life?
actual murderous dictators ever ask themselves that? Do you think they're ever like, is this too much killing? You
Yeah,
know,
but none
do
of them
you
have
think-
like a really good backstory that like justifies it. You know, Hitler wasn't like my family was
Right,
killed
right.
by the
Yeah,
Jews.
Yeah, and Stalin was just
They
like,
took
give
everything
me,
from me and my village and left it in flames.
That's
It's
true.
like that's
There
not what
wasn't that
happened.
dark medieval beginning.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I'm really excited for what's gonna happen next because I don't know. It's just such a fun game.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Y'all killed it.
So Sam, are you ever going to have us do the drunk history voice
I don't think so.
same thing?
I don't want to do that.
It doesn't
Yeah.
seem necessary.
Like I want to find more creative ways to film the shots
Yeah.
and so we can get more actual information out of them.
Yeah.
And like I think that's my big goal anyways, is just like get a little bit more out of it. Like I'd much rather it be like, rather than just showing you guys in an area, it would be like showing you guys and the area and making it really
hopefully
feel
some
like
of
that.
It would be really great to get some 3D monsters and characters in there into some of those shots.
Yeah, rigging that stuff can be kind of tough.
Oh yeah, it's a huge body of work
Yeah.
that needs to be accomplished.
It would
but-
have to be like maybe like one per episode.
I feel like the greatest strength of those green screen shots is showing us in the space. Like basically the space. Like, okay, the door's there, the window's there, they're in a room. Like just feeling the space is such like an important aspect of this. I mean, it's
Yeah.
why you have this whole board built out. But
Yeah, totally. It's possible just with the stuff we're filming on. It was pretty limiting.
right. I mean, it was
Just-
still great, but
Yeah, like it was. Well, I mean, also a bigger green screen would make that a lot easier. Where it's like, okay, we can actually have a shot where everyone walks together as a group 10 feet into a room on a wide angle lens, and we then look around. And
Should we
you
do
know,
like a 2-sided or 3-sided one next time where
if we had
actually,
a corner that would
because
solve it.
we could do like we originally said before we shot the actual green screen, we were going to do an L shape.
the corner would fix that.
Okay, yeah,
quite
it would be
easily.
cool.
yeah, let's definitely do that next time. And then what would be great is if we can get another artist on the compositions so that either yourself or a 3D artist could really focus on the monsters and the other characters that we can't actually film live
And,
action.
Yeah. After doing the what is it? After doing that last shot with like the Drider's character and all the people like,
Yeah.
and also all this mocap stuff, it's like I'm starting to get the hang of animation.
Yeah.
Like, Jordan's pretty good at rigging stuff too, and
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't take that long to rig stuff, but it's one of those. It's an endless tunnel of
Yeah.
work. If you it's like, all right, what are we going to animate? What aren't we going to animate?
Mhm.
And it has to be. It's a decision that absolutely has to be made after everything's edited.
Yeah.
Like you have like, all right, here's like close to final edits of everything, and you're like, all right, what does this story need now?
Mhm.
You don't want to like do too much of that ahead of time, unless it's like pretty obvious characters. But yeah,
What would be an awesome like season 4 or 5 or 6 goal would be to actually generate the maps in 3D space beyond just the photo scans, but actually build them,
Yeah, like make them like put ceilings on them and stuff.
Yeah, ceilings and and then if you had a true 3D environment that you could actually adjust like objects and lighting
We're off to a great start. We have a huge asset library now.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, the big thing is like, all right, if you're using the scans, there's a quality like limit effectively.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't know, there's probably a way to figure that out better in the future. Like a lot of it looks pretty decent, but there's still a little jank here and there.
Wait, Dwarven Forge said they would give us 3D models of everything.
They don't have 3D models. They have what is it? They have like the resin masters, so to speak.
Okay.
But they're like not painted or anything too. Like the best way to do it and the painful way to do it is to not scan the game board, but instead scan the individual pieces and then rebuild the whole map. Oof. But that's what I'm saying. I really don't want to do that because that's so much work.
Right. But that's like a good like season 6, goal.
But that's the way you'd make everything looking like real good.
Then you could do photoreal environments.
It would look very realistic.
Yeah.
But I think we're getting pretty close. Some of it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like we changed the photo scanning technique twice as we were scanning stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why that last map I think looks kind of the best right now. Like the last stuff looks pretty decent. But yeah, getting there.
It's really cool being able to just like build this thing and then photo scan it and have this incredibly highly detailed asset just in 3D.
Yeah, it is. It's mind blowing. I think it's crazy. Like how do I say it? What made the show really exciting for me, other than having a fun D&D game, was going, all right, Unreal 5, photo scanning, like crazy. It's like, here, what's the most creative way to get all this stuff with putting the least amount of effort?
Right.
I mean, it's still a ton of effort, but like, it's maybe that's the wrong way to put it. How do I maximize the energy I put into this?
Right.
Like that's, I think, the best way to like put it. And so I feel like that kind of worked.
What are you most proud of?
Well, the story. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. Just it's super cool. It's like 8 hours, and like it's D&D, and there's dudes playing a tabletop game, but as you watch it with the way we're adding some music and all these other shots, it's like it feels way bigger than a board game as you watch it.
Yeah.
And that's really what I am proud of, is because like that's the feeling you get when you play the game. And just, like imagine watching someone play checkers or something. It's like, hey guys, we're all getting together to play Risk, and someone's like, can I watch? And it's like dude, this is the worst night of your life. Like you're so bored, like 30 minutes in, you're just gonna be on your phone, and like that was the issue too with D&D. It's like, all right, how do you like tap into that? And I mean, the live action green screen stuff helps, but even still, just like super cinematic shots of what's happening on the game board, and then making sure there's like a score, like emotionally driving the piece and going, all right, this is creepy, this is epic, this is scary, this is fun, like, and just like making sure you're always like pumping that to color
Carmichael's
everything.
sound design makes it feel bigger too.
Oh yeah, the sound design in the Unreal shots too, it's like so cool.
There's so many things that we'll say and then there'll be a sound effect for, and in the back of your head you don't even notice that it's there, but all of a sudden it's it's just more visceral. Yeah,
the big thing, like the difference between playing D&D and versus filming it, though, it's like that's been a question we've been talking about. As far as like, all right, how do you make it feel as fun as D&D but still like cut out some of the baggage of D&D to make it so it's a better story to listen to? Like, all right, do we take out certain dice rolls for things to make things go faster? It's like, as you experienced, you can have like 3 conversations on 3 different parts of this town in the time it takes for you to like fight 2 orcs.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and
Oh,
that
that's,
should be
another, that's another thing.
Dead.
We should, when we play next
and how,
season.
and how do you make that fair so that you don't die fast too?
Right.
You know, because you don't want, if like combat's so deadly where it's like, haha, dead. It's like combat for you would be you walk into a room, you're ambushed, everyone dies. It's like fuck, like
Yeah.
you don't want that experience either. So it's like, what's that balance of making the fighting in combat, like is making it closer on the game table as it is to how we've edited it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the like, I want to bridge that gap a little bit more so that
You know,
way
you have to hone in on the storytelling aspect of combat.
storytelling, but
I was going to
dice rolls,
suggest that.
Less dice
a
rolls.
little less, getting a little less technical with like the minutia of
We
it.
try
would help.
to, I think next campaign, when it comes to the decision making, we all basically, it's like everyone says what they want to do, and then, you know, everybody basically takes one turn, and you go, okay, this is what I want to do. This, okay, now let's do this, you know, and then it's just, then you're not sitting there. I know
True,
there's
but-
a little bit
but-
of natural like debate.
But having the time to discuss is what leads to cool stuff happening on the board. Like if we don't ever like, it does pause the fighting and it does slow it down, but at the same time, it's like you can't just show up to like if you went to a movie set and you had to do a fight scene, you can't just make it up on the spot and have it be really
True.
cool, intricate stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
I think honestly, I would just like, I have tried using egg timers in the past
Yeah.
to just like be like, all right, you know, come to a conclusion, you know, and people knowing that if they interject when someone else is making a decision, it means you were eaten into that time.
Right.
And not like, I wouldn't use that often, but like, all right, let's say it is like a big mega boss battle. It's like, all right, so let's say they can do these extra actions and stuff. It's like, okay, you're fighting, you're doing, I've got a timer, and whether it's his turn or not, when the timer runs out, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And just to
Just
keep
a
it maybe
little bit of
moving.
that,
a
yeah.
little.
That's cool. I
Like,
like that.
there's some ways to push it, but yeah, you're ultimately right though, Nico, because like, once again, a D&D conversation, everyone gets to talk about what to do, and
Yeah.
like the fights aren't technically any different. It's just that there's, you know, we're slowing time down to, you know,
You can do fancier matrix moves, dodging our bullets when the
Yeah.
time goes slow.
yeah, exactly. It's like constant. It's in slow motion, basically. Like
Yeah.
all the dialogue and role playing stuff is real time. Combat slow motion.
And the
Yeah.
other thing is when we're speaking as the characters, we don't say like you speak as that character.
Right.
You know, playing as that character more than just
That would make editing a lot easier too.
yeah.
Just super small stuff, but
So
yeah.
then in the edit, there's no ambiguity about who's saying what. You
Yeah.
know.
I think the thing that makes like Dungeons and Dragons content particularly interesting is you get the like storytelling and the world building of fictional things like movies, but you get the emotional hook of sports, which are real life games. You know, you
Mhm.
don't know the outcome, anything could happen, even
Yeah.
if a team is favored to win.
Totally.
So it's like, imagine watching Game of Thrones, but there's an actual dice roll, and at some point a character, if they roll a 1, dies, and then the story just has to completely adapt and change when that happens. And I feel like that aspect of reality is what like draws me in and lets me forget about the jank and the lack of actual actors. And like, you know, I get pulled into the story because there's that reality edge to it. It's the same thing like that hooks you into vlogs. Like if somebody shot a movie with the plot line of like our vlogs, the movie would probably not be that compelling. That would be a really artsy independent film that gets a lot of awards and Sundance. It'd be one or the other.
It'd be one or the other.
That no one watches
Or
after
one
that.
in the same.
But when it's reality, you have a totally different context and a different hook, and it just like it pulls you in more. And that's what
Yeah.
happens to me with the Dungeons and Dragons games.
Yeah, I saw people like commenting too. It's like, is this scripted? This feels kind of scripted.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's edited. But you know, like and that might be what makes it feel so scripted, is because it's streamlined and it's like digestible.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a cool take on it, especially from a viewer's perspective of,
Yeah.
of like, okay, everyone is genuinely ready to react to anything, and like you don't know what's gonna happen.
What I'm excited about is just that there's no limit on how much we can do with it. In the who's out there?
just
peeps.
the dudes.
Oh,
Just
okay.
the dudes, just the boys.
There's no limit on how far we can take it. Like if you're setting out to do a scripted piece or, you know, something that's set in like a very particular way, you can sure, it might take a lot to get there, or it might take a little to get there, but once you're there, it's done. You know, and it's like, okay, you want to do a situational comedy, you want to do, a drama, whatever. Like, okay, here you are. Okay, you've got the characters. They're portraying the characters. The talent's portraying the characters perfect.
More actual information out of them.
Yeah,
And like, I think that's my big goal anyways, is just like get a little bit more out of it. Like, I'd much rather it be like, rather than just showing you guys in an area, it would be like showing you guys and the area. And making it really feel like that.
It would be really great to get some 3D monsters and characters in there into some of those shots.
Yeah. Rigging that stuff can be kind of tough.
Oh.
Be like maybe like one per episode.
I feel like the greatest strength of those green screen shots is showing us in the space, like basically the space. Like, okay, the door's there, the window's there, they're in a room. Like, just feeling the space is such like an important aspect of this. I mean, it's why you have this whole board built out. But
Yeah, totally. It's possible. Just with the stuff we're filming on, it was pretty limiting.
right. I mean, it was still great, but
Yeah, like it was. Well, I mean, also the mic.
Sam, what were the things you like best about each character that the players played?
All right. I
Like,
don't want to be
what
too
was the thing that made
biased.
you excited about having each character?
Okay, well, obviously,
on the table?
starting with your character, you always put a lot of focus on making very powerful characters and like
Yes.
and like making sure that everything that works together to be better. And so it's kind of nice because your character kind of becomes the whole like, hey, I can step in and like really fuck shit up for everyone, like in a very good way. It's like I can make any situation grind to a complete halt if I want it to.
I like
Yeah.
being able to be a pain in
I
someone's
got to
ass.
take a little bit more of that for my character next time.
But
'cause-
Jake's character, on the other hand, is
Well, here's like the social version of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you played the socialite bard character really well,
good.
and like it's what created a ton of the funniest moments too in the show, which is I mean, it's great having that element
When
there.
you're like, when you're playing the cleric and you go, who should I heal?
Who should I heal? Yeah.
Which one is better? And I go,
Which one's better?
Corvus.
Better.
And then Ren punches me after.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you were also very eager to take the lead too in a lot of situations to kind of like, all right, let's figure
I
this
figured
out.
that
Like,
was
what's
the
going
character,
on?
you know?
And no, but
Yeah.
like that was literally your character, which is like, all right, I'm supposed to be the organizer of the group.
Yeah.
And so it plays really well. I think Dee's character, I really appreciated how much backstory Dee gave me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a high like volume, but it was just very specific.
Yeah.
It was like here's it was only like 2 paragraphs in an email, but it was like here's the names, here's the locations, and like here's a little more extra context, but it was like, oh, this is still a ton, because now I can go, all right, like, well, the game's taking place in the world that context exists in as well. So it's a perfect way to make the story get way more personal and not be just like, hey, there's a big dragon, who wants to fight it? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Was
like,
there an orphanage before D like said he was an orphan, or
Nope.
did you add that? Okay.
No.
It was like, okay,
no,
this works.
like because I told him, I'm like, you're from this town.
Yeah.
Tell me something about your character and what you did in it.
Okay.
And like I'm just like we're working on building this out. And so he's like,
Yeah.
my character's from an orphanage nearby the town. I'm like, there's an orphanage here now.
Yeah.
And-
Okay.
But like that's really important, That's
Yeah.
like that's where it becomes collaborative.
I feel like it was Dee's character that made for the most movie-like moments throughout this. Like
I-
the actual like plot moments, like episode
Yeah.
6 when Timothy gets stolen, or even just episode 1 where he finds like Father McAllister like in this
Yeah.
Like
hive of debauchery.
he has the sad shots.
Yeah.
You get to dip into the sad
Yeah,
shots
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
But he has like 3 sad
No,
shots.
totally.
That, like, and that means that's a lot. That's like, oh, this is like a thing a character cares about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and it's like it. I know that. So he became kind of like the the emotional like.
But it's good.
focal
That's
point.
like you need that. It's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, it's really cool.
I'd like to
I mean,
find
I
out.
will just to preface that I will be asking for a little bit more from you guys too for the next one.
Yeah.
Like Jake, I got some good stuff. I'm not gonna try and I don't want to overdo it, but
Yeah.
we'll see, we'll see where it goes. Don't put too much thought into it. Don't like put too much pressure on
I'll
yourself
give you some more
to
refined
create like a
elements.
season defining storyline. Because it's, once again, as I said, it's not about volume, you know, it's like little things.
Right.
It's little things that you can pick up on, and so on and so forth. So, and then Ren, Ren was good at being impulsive. I think he needs to be more impulsive though, because like when he is impulsive about things and does get fed up and just goes like, I'm doing this, I don't give a shit about anyone. Like, it's great and it drives things and it like keeps things moving. And
We stopped him too many times.
yeah, there's a lot of stopping. Like, first episode is like the very first confrontation you have is like there's a door and he's like, I'm gonna knock on it, and everyone's like, don't knock on it. And then you spend 10 minutes talking about why you shouldn't knock on it, and then you just knock on it.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
Yeah, he gets to the point.
yeah, we cut most of that out, but
Yeah.
even still, like, that's also really great to have too. So
Interesting. Those are really cool insights into like what makes the characters work.
I really want to find out more about what Dee had to do to become a witch hunter.
Yeah.
What did he have to? He said he died and came back to life.
yeah, I guess
What
so.
is this?
I guess he had to like
What is this?
touch the void. So
I need to. I want to hear this story. Needs to come out somehow. I'm gonna. Yeah. Needs to come out and be known.
the one thing that I would have loved to like it happened, but it kind of all got cut. But it was great for the table. But like our characters' gambling addictions.
Yes, we tried a few
We
times.
tried a lot, but never quite.
There was like always like something that was like very clearly more important happening.
Yeah.
We need to do
We
that.
got a little bit for the sports game that actually ended up happening.
Yeah,
But,
that's
like,
true. We
yeah.
gambled a large sum of gold.
Very large sum of gold.
And
for
it
a
did
sports
not.
game.
So I'm wondering. I don't know if our characters are the good guys. By the way,
No, you're the good guys.
We're definitely the good guys.
Well, no,
My character thinks of himself as a good guy.
but after that match on the sports field, I'm not sure.
You definitely did not show mercy.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
he was like, wait, no, my favorite fucking scene is Nico going like, here's a gold coin, orc. Like, it was a good fight, and you turn to everyone and you're like, look, you make more somethings with honey or whatever. You
Yeah.
said
catch more flies with
you
honey.
catch more flies with honey. He's got a gold coin. Everyone's like, he's just gotta go back and tell everyone what happened. And he's like, I shoot him in the head with the crossbow as he's walking away.
It was the Saving Private Ryan moment.
And then immediately it's like revealed like, oh yeah, he was totally gonna go tell everyone about what's happening.
Yeah.
Man, so yeah, but I don't even understand why we still. I'm struggling with like, why did we kill those guys
He was just, you got caught up in the moment.
in the rage?
Like there's a little bit of brawling happening,
Right.
And like
I think
it just kind of
Was it,
got
like
carried
Bob
away.
actually like punched one of them to death or something
No,
like that?
no. Here's the thing. You guys ended up just knocking everyone out. You were very specific too. It was like it's a sports brawl.
Right.
You KO everyone
I thought it
except
was
the
gonna
last
end
guy.
there.
And then basically what happens is
He thought he was gonna die, and then he runs over and
Grabs
gets his sword.
Sword.
Yeah.
one guy grabs a sword, but you knock him out. You managed to knock everyone unconscious, and then what happens is that you guys proceed to like talk to these ghosts who I think it was like a thing where it's like, oh, like hold on,
That's
right. No, one guy dies, and then you're like, well, like okay, let's bury
chaos.
him, and the ghosts are like, oh, like you have to,
chaos.
yeah, like it was confusing. I can't even remember, but. It was more like okay, one's dead, so we might as well just kill everyone.
That's what I'm getting at.
It's like one guy died in this bar fight, so let's just clean up. They're all dead now.
That's what,
like, it's
that's
way
what I'm
more simple.
questioning.
Yeah, so that was like kind of that wasn't good, but it was funny.
Because if we do that too many times, I don't know. My character was chaotic neutral, so
Yeah, I have a meter. I have a meter of all your good actions and
But
bad
still.
actions, and they'll eventually come to help or haunt you.
Right. Yeah. But your character's supposed to be a good.
Yeah, my character is good. He
No,
doesn't
I
murder
thought you're
people.
good. I thought you're
I gave that
neutral.
orc a gold coin.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with like, this is a plot point that I really appreciated, which was the mindless thrall that were coming to break that mind flayer out of the jail.
Yeah.
And we're in a position where it's like, okay, here's like 20 people and we can't like, we're not supposed to, but like we can't just murder all of them because they're innocent. They're just under mind control.
I didn't take on that one. I shot 2 of them with a ballista.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys showed a little restraint because if you did just start murdering all of them, it kind of defeats the whole
It
interesting
destroyed my
setup.
house in the process, though, so I suppose it was
Yeah.
fair.
Dude, tiny hut though.
A tiny hut is what clutched
The
it.
tiny hut is what really like made that whole scene work. Is because you were like, all right, here's just like a force field. No one can get in it, and it's just like we're blocking the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
And then we didn't have to murder everybody.
Yeah.
That shirt's going to be available, by the way.
Liam's tiny hut.
Yes. Yeah. We it's not going to be available by the time episode 8 is out, but it's going to be available in about 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Do we have any like
And
sick...
we're only printing 150 of them.
Oh man.
So.
At least 10 of those are going to corridor people. Do we have any like sick Black Friday merch dropping or
Oh, a ton.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. The bomber jacket 2.0.
Oh right.
It's been 2 years in development. It's
R&D tested in every weather condition.
It has. They sent me like we made 2 modifications out of the manufacturing facility where they sent me blanks of the jacket and in terms of fitment and like feel and like everything. And then we finally got that, and then we put this sweet map that Gabe made on the inside of it that has all these different locations where we filmed in Los Angeles.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then there's a bunch of other good stuff too. But if you wouldn't believe it if I told you, but nobody is printing key green fabric. Yeah. And so I asked Jay today, I was like, well, if no one's printing it, can we just make it? Like how many yards do we have to print to like,
Just here's green.
there's
key
got to
green
be
fabric.
somebody needs green fabric,
Yeah. We do.
it's used and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how do you make like Renaissance Fair costumes, right? You
Yeah.
need green,
Maybe not key green for Ren Fair,
maybe.
but yeah.
Who knows?
Anyways. And then I'm trying to get a pillow made. This isn't out yet, but I'm trying to get a pillow made where it's emergency green screen on the outside, and then you flip the cover and it's a reflector.
That's such an inside joke for like anybody that
The
does
funniest
video.
thing about the green screen blanket though is that people actually buy it as a green screen.
Yeah, because it is truly an emergency green screen blanket.
I know.
I mean,
We're
yeah.
sold out of them. I can't get any more made. Like,
That's the best.
right. And it also is a blanket.
I can't believe we're even getting any merch right now with the whole supply chain.
Can we
issues.
make emergency morph suits?
Yes.
Like an emergency onesie morph suit?
But they already make green morph suits.
Yeah, they do already just make green morph
yeah, but what if
suits.
it's like wearable? Like ours
morph
is
suits
wearable.
are? What, you mean like on
Oh,
the
we
regular?
do like sweats.
Morph, yeah, like
we do socks,
No.
sweats, and a shirt,
well, I'm just
Oh,
saying,
man.
or make it like just a one.
and a hat.
like a tracksuit.
No, just make it one article, like
One-
a onesie, like,
oh, like
an adult onesie.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then it's
Again,
like it's like comfortable
green
and
fabric
wearable.
It's
is
a
our-
non-tight.
It's not spandex. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Green fabric is our greatest enemy right now. If we had a supplier of green fabric, we could make this.
I'm just saying that's the next level one, which is
There's got to be somebody who's making
here's
green
like
fabric.
It's like,
I
sir,
don't buy
I'm gonna
this.
puppet this like practical monster head, and we're gonna have to key you out. But I want you to be comfortable when
Right.
you do it.
It's
Yeah.
like, let's be real. You're not gonna key me. You're gonna roto me. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah.
let's be honest. Yeah, yeah. So I can wear to whatever I want, right? Yeah. So I'll wear this Corridor Digital green screen onesie.
Then it's just a super hard roto because you can't see the edge.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't believe that. There's if you're listening and you know somebody who's manufacturing basic cotton, can you dye it green and give us a call? How is this
It's gotta
hard?
be chroma green though.
Right. Well, yeah,
Which is actually kind of BS. Just bright green will work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
bright green would do.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that's
not asking for much.
I've asked like 3 times. I was like, really? They're sold out. No one's making green fabric.
Actually, if you get it slightly reflective, so you put like a ring light around the camera, it just bumps it a little bit.
Mm. Maybe
Perfect.
we can add in like a thread
Yeah.
into the stitch that
Like-
makes it slightly reflective.
That 511 jacket that I have, like from the battlefield days,
Mm-hmm.
like that has a slightly reflective quality to the
There we
fabric.
go. See, the thing is, you got to
Retroreflective.
play at this game though. It's like, how much do you want your green screen tracksuit to cost? You know,
I would spare no expense.
spare no
luxury.
luxury.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Luxury.
to
See how
make
much people are willing to pay for crappy T-shirts? Like,
thread.
Professional grade.
Not
Yeah.
our t-shirts. Our t-shirts aren't crappy.
no, our T-shirts are wonderful, but like
Yeah.
people are out there like, here's a white T-shirt, $500. I'm just like,
Oh, right.
because it's $500,
Yeah.
I want it
like
now.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
So
disgusting.
here's our
to me. I don't
chroma
know.
green. It's the perfect chroma green. I mean, it would have to be the perfect chroma green though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it would have to be the perfect chroma green. It would have to be nice, and it would probably cost over $100 to provide that. Probably well over.
Costs a lot to look this good, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool though if somebody showed up in one of those. Hey guys, in
This is a little,
full-
this is guys. So it's just me, Sam, and Jake on the couch here, and this little hint of what our meetings actually go like.
Yeah. We're kind of turning this into a meeting.
Yeah, this is kind of how they actually sound.
How can we make a green tracksuit that's slightly reflective that costs less than $200?
We just hope somebody listening to this podcast is a fabric manufacturer.
Seriously, I gotta call my buddy. I went to law school with this guy whose dad.
I got a buddy who can get you a real good green.
I got buddies for everything, man. No, I got a guy. I went to law school with him. His dad has a garment. What do you call it? Textile supply out of the fashion district, and he's got to know. He's got to know something.
Maybe he's got some green.
He's probably got some green in there, up in there.
Yeah.
We need and then you do like the little silver, you know,
Retro reflective.
retro reflective, yeah, silver, and
Oh, we need a loom. That's one green string and then one shiny one.
and then we can
And
make
then you
it.
do the thing where you push it up and down. And
You know,
then,
it'd be sick is if we made a deal with Aperture where like it comes with 2 lights.
Oh yeah, like ring lights.
It comes with 2 like M10 lights. And
interesting.
yeah,
Anyways,
Cool.
keep an eye on quarterdigital.store. Sometime
what's
in the next
funny
year.
is I was explaining this to Matt and Jordan today, or maybe it's Matt. Oh, so I'm gonna have Jordan take pictures of everybody who's wearing the same thing.
I think it's
Yeah.
a great idea because it
And-
happens every day.
Yeah. And so Griffin and Jordan were wearing the same thing today. And then I was explaining to them how we don't make like any money on merch at this point. It's like, yeah, we make a little bit, but it's basically just like to feed the habit of like, how can we get a green tracksuit?
Yeah. And like, I'm not sure if people listening to this podcast like fully understand how most like probably 60% of everybody's wardrobe at Corridor at this point is just the Corridor merch. Like
Yeah.
really the merch is just so all of us have clothes.
It's just a perk. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like if you work with us, we will put clothes on you.
Yeah. So yeah, healthcare, retirement, and clothing.
Section 4D, additional compensation, clothing.
Various shirts and pants will be available for you during the course of your employment. Occasionally.
Once a quarter.
Once a quarter, you will. You can formally request up to 3 articles of clothing.
Which is not too far from the truth. It's like here's the thing, here's the real question: when you make these bomber jackets, we're probably gonna make what, like 100 or something like that.
Yeah,
We're probably gonna.
I think
There's
we're
like
making-
15 people working at Corridor.
Yeah.
15 of those are gonna disappear instantly.
I think we're making a little bit more than that. I think we're making like 500.
Oh, good.
that's-
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe not that many.
That's plenty.
Good.
They get so expensive.
Yeah.
Like imagine like, hey, so we want to make 500 jackets and then you get a bill for $34,000 and you're like, maybe I didn't want that many.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
anyone wants some jackets?
I guess we gotta sell 'em.
Anyone not in the studio want these?
That's
Yeah.
basically our merch business right there. You just cracked it.
It's like, hey guys, I made you new shirts. It's like, what are we gonna do with the extra 400? It's like, oh crap.
I got new
Should
design. I like it.
Yeah, I'll tweet. Maybe I'll put a tweet out and see if anyone on
Should
the.
print some more. Maybe somebody else wants some.
Yeah,
That is
that's
kinda
pretty
how it
much
works.
it.
Yeah. The merch is just to rep it.
Yeah.
If you like Corridor,
That's
you
why
like
we
the
started
style.
doing it originally.
Yeah.
Way back 6-7 years ago when we first started selling shirts. It was just because people kept asking for it. And then we were
there's people being also a bunch of people in the office.
yeah, that too. And then we just started printing them. Carmichael and I for a long time were just we had a whole system, and we'd get, maybe like 5-8 orders a day, and you just have to slap the label on it and then check it off the inventory spreadsheet. And then I'd go to this guy down the street and I'd go, okay, man, I need 12 shirts. He'd be like, you need 12. It was like these abysmally low inventory numbers. Yeah. Good times.
And I get so many like spam emails too from companies being like, hey, we wanted to introduce you to our merchandising branch. We could help you merchandise things with things like custom shirts, hats, water bottles. It's like, have you even taken like 30 seconds to like just type our name into Google?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
No, I know. And a lot of it's like janky, like print to order
Yeah.
stuff.
That stuff sucks.
I know.
I'm like so burned. Like I got a really dope shirt from a band I like,
Yeah.
and I washed it once and it fell apart.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this sucks. Like, and I'm talking to the guy on Instagram from the band. Like, I haven't told that to him yet. But like, I was like, hey, I love your music. He was like, hey, I've seen those React videos. Like, cool. And then my follow up is, just where do you have the good ones, the good shirts? Like, who is selling the good ones? Because I'd like to buy one of the good shirts, please. Because I funny story, I got one of the bad ones. I'm not asking you for a refund, but
It's like, dude, just play guitar in this, man.
it's like, yeah, I know.
I didn't even know we were selling merch.
It's like,
That's cool that
man.
he was like, hey, I recognize your reacts.
yeah, I was just out of the blue. I've started to realize that, like, hey, most people on Instagram will respond if you send them a message. And so I just was like, hey, congrats on your cool album. And
That's
he's
what
like,
happens when you have
"What's up?"
14 million subscribers on YouTube,
Do you
Sam.
have a blue check?
I do. I submitted it. Facebook has all
I
my
should do that at
information
some
now.
point.
I'm in the metaverse.
Oh, damn.
I know. They've made a digital copy of me
Yeah.
and all the shirts I've bought.
Good one, bad one.
Yeah.
Yep.
The metaverse.
Yeah, how about
I
that?
don't even know if I want to talk about it. Other
No,
than,
let's not talk
I just
about
want to
it.
riff on it.
There's been metaverses before.
I don't. Why are they making? It's just a parent company, isn't it? It's like Alphabet and Google.
I don't know. I think they're also realizing that trying to call everything the Facebook thing is just a weird name.
Oculus
Yeah.
by Facebook.
But Facebook's a really crappy company, and I don't know.
I know, it's like, how much, like, they have to start paying people to participate in this metaverse thing, That's the only way people are
Was there a social element to this?
It's like kind of the Oculus system right now,
Okay.
but it's like, how annoying. Like, this is weeks old now, but did you see like their launch video
Yeah.
when it came out? It's like, imagine you're playing a VR game with your friends and a freaking like video call interrupts it.
Yeah.
And you're like forced on screen to have this like alert that someone's trying to video chat with you in the middle of playing a video game.
Screw that.
It's like, what? It's like, that sucks. It's like, like, I don't want that kind of crap.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of metaverse where I'm trying to have fun and then like someone's like, bing, 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 bing,
Do
bing,
you
bing, bing.
think-
It's
do you
like,
think,
no,
like,
like I'm
these-
playing a freaking game.
Do you think like these tech billionaires get so into like their own like universe where they're like, hey, this is a good idea. We should do this. And to the average person, the answer is no. I don't want that in my
I
life.
know.
Oh, definitely.
I think that's absolutely
I
it.
mean, it's really just about prodding you. It's like, here's the thing you like, and we're just going to figure out how much we can just jab you in the side and make you uncomfortable before you go, screw it, and you just take the headset off and never play it again.
Yeah.
Can we do it can we bug you 5% of the time?
Right.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's the worst.
Trying to figure you out to exploit
And it makes them
you.
so much money. And I just wish everybody would figure that out and stop letting them get away with that shit.
Yeah.
Because the reason they do it is because people pay the freaking money for it. It's
Yeah.
like, if we all just would have fucking gutted up and not done that, then we wouldn't be here with crappy DLC and
I
microtransaction
know.
BS.
And Instagram with ads.
Instagram now with ads. Oh, great.
It's like, there's no amount of money you can pay them to
Yeah.
take those ads away.
Yeah. Well, that's how they do it. You do the free product version. I mean, YouTube did the same thing. Remember when the ads became a thing on YouTube and then integrations, and it was like, still to this day there's comments. Remember that guy on our Discord, we have this comment Hall of Fame where we post stuff
Oh my
sometimes.
gosh.
And there was a guy on there
Comment
who was
Hall
like,
of Fame.
"Screw you for having ads in your videos."
Let's wrap up this podcast with some comment Hall of Fame.
Yeah, honestly,
This is bad because now we're going to encourage people to get on the comment Hall of Fame. So don't take it away. Like
no,
we
like
can tell
if
when
you
you're
get on the
faking it.
comment Hall of Fame, everyone
And if you
shames you.
There's
Yeah.
good
Like,
and bad.
we all chuckle. It's not a good
That's
place
true.
to be.
I'm trying to soften it. There hasn't been a good one yet.
Like a lot of people who just throwing this out there before anyone thinks about making a troll post. If you get on the comment Hall of Fame, you get blocked on the channel generally too. Like that means your comment Hall of Fame comment is your last comment that anyone on any social networks controlled by us is going to read. So just saying, it's fun. But there's some funny ones.
I'm gonna read the one by we won't say their names.
Yeah,
But,
don't say the names.
Also, I will say, I've been around the internet. I can tell when people are faking it and when they're sincere. All right. If these greedy effers stop and
There
tell
you
me to
go. This is a
subscribe,
good
I
one.
will unsubscribe. I might go further. Frick them. I'm self-censoring. Frick them for having commercial breaks to have ads about themselves. Imagine if any other company did that. That's the thing.
Imagine
That's
if
the
any
kicker.
other company
Imagine if
did
any
that.
other company did that. Had commercial breaks to promote themselves.
You mean like everything?
Every company. So I really like that one.
Oh, that's such a good one. That one had me dying.
You are not God to criticize Indian cinema.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I cannot wait
love
till the
that
next
one.
Bollywood though, because there's a movie. You know the cop who rides on the hood of the Jeep. That one, that clip.
Oh yeah.
The latest movie in that saga came out like within
really?
the last few weeks. Yeah,
Here we go.
it's so dope.
This why I don't watch Willy Wonka or My Baby Sister, and if she does, I will get mad because this is not a kid show and it's about killing, and this should be stopped. Pound it, F you. It says Willy Wonka rated R with a gory thumbnail. Oh man, this is a good one. This video could legit be called "We Examined and Critiqued Andrew Garfield's Unaltered Face."
Yeah, I mean that's not a blockable one. It's
No,
just
that's not
very,
a
That's a
very-
blockable one.
It's
It's
very-
just funny how the context of that became such that could have been the actual title.
Man, I'm thinking about that healer machine. I wish it exists in real life, so that a lot of soldiers' life could be saved.
Yes, we all wish that exists in real life.
Sorry, half of the comment Hall of Fames aren't really aggressive.
No. They're actually just like really sweet, funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Some of them, yeah. There's some.
There's some. I'm not reading those ones.
Yeah, non-repeatable ones that we obviously block.
yeah.
But they still make it to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Love it.
Boy.
All right. Well, good times. Sam,
Yeah.
thanks for answering all my questions about Son of a Dungeon.
Yeah,
I'm
that
glad
was a
we could
great
finally
interview,
spoil it.
Nico. I feel like you've interviewed guests before for a
Yeah, man. I just
show.
ask the questions I want to know the answers to.
right.
It's that easy.
I'm just glad you guys enjoyed it and had fun and are thinking the show's cool. That's just being able to continue playing D&D, quote unquote, professionally is awesome. So
Yeah, a note
Yeah.
on that. Everybody who came into the site for the show has literally made season 2 possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
No exaggeration or
Heck, everyone that's come onto the site has changed our entire business operation here at Corridor. Like,
and how completely, yeah.
yeah, all of you have completely redefined how we get to approach media and making videos and films, and it's super, super exciting. Like, it sounds super like crappy CEO on big stage in front of people hyping everybody up, but
changing.
like, you are changing the way we make entertainment.
Yeah.
It hurts me to say it, but it's true.
No, it's true. Well, it's a lot more authentic, and oh God, authenticity. Another buzzword. How to be authentic online.
But seriously, like all the way up
gotta
until this
bring that
point, at what point could you just have somebody subscribe to your work and then you give them the product and that's it? No middlemen, no distributors,
Right.
no one else
It's
to
the
like get
best.
to pick and choose. No advertisers to worry about. It's just
We don't have an
You guys
algorithm
out there
yet.
went-
Well, maybe we have a green light for that, which is like
no, don't.
no, screw that. There's no algorithm.
green light.
You know what?
No, we green light an anti-algorithm.
We specialize in
Yeah.
100% non-synthesized, algorithm-free content.
There you go.
On
There
quarterdigital.com.
you go. Except for our recommended for you
Tailor
playlist.
made.
That's it.
Yeah.
Tailor-made.
It's like going
Yeah.
to a wood shop.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, signing off. That was a great cast. Sam, thanks for putting all that together. I cannot wait for season 2. We're going to try to film it in January, and I'm sticking to that. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we're going to make it happen.
Yeah. It'll be a piece of cake. Everyone's experts at D&D now. They know the rules.
Yeah.
Sort of. Sort of.